The data comes in, but then what is it that you're looking for? What are the patterns that are
Mm.
driven around your business goals? And what is that data? And how are you sorting it? And then how are you building the story that you're trying to understand? We track badge data, and I think a lot of companies track badge data. Elder, you and I have talked a lot about this. One of the reasons why we work with Basking is because it's more than the one swipe badge data reading. It's a much more about the detailed data and
Mhm.
really seeing how people move around the space and when they're moving around the space and how long they're spending in those areas, right? One thing that's interesting is that people collect data and then, sometimes they don't know what to do with it, but really it needs to be evaluated, all those parts and pieces that you see in that data, and then
Right.
arranged. It needs to really be something that you can understand the pattern that you've discovered, right?
Mhm.
And then that explains the story. And so it's deeper than just that one-time swipe, that you do with
Yep.
your badge. So that is critical to where we're at this moment because I think we've tried to go back to where we were. Everybody come back to the office, be in the office, and then what we're seeing is that that's not going to really apply nowadays, right?
Yeah.
It's not the same. Technology, I think, is a big part of that as well, right? Because now we have the
Yeah.
capability and the ability to work from anywhere and connect with anyone. We are human, so we do have an innate desire to want to connect with others, right? I don't think I'm the only one that believes this, and especially
Yeah.
for companies like Qualcomm, where we're creating and innovating, you kind of need that spontaneous interaction to occur within an
Yep.
environment where people can be in. And I think that's where people get caught up. They think that just having the data is enough. But I think Elder
Mm.
and I talk about this. I love the way
Yeah.
Basking actually prints out the reports. We customize them to what is the story we're trying to understand, and then what is the story we're trying to build. The data comes in, but then what is it that you're looking for? What are the patterns that are
Mm.
driven around your business goals, and what is that data, and how are you sorting it, and then how are you building the story that you're trying to understand? It's a combination of lots of different data sources and data points that you have to bring together to create that story. We have the kind of technical data, right, on how people are moving around the space, what their on-site attendance is, and that's kind of the more the technical side of it. And then to integrate that with what we get from the HR surveys and try to understand how those all of this ties together, right? So it's the quantitative and the qualitative data that has to work that way because our employees are human, the human aspect of it that we have to incorporate with the technical data. And that is, I think, the hardest part for any of us to do, right? It's really hard to align those two things because individuality is very much safeguarded by most people, right? We got to figure all that out. And I think that's why it's a really difficult time for a lot of corporate real estate people is trying to figure out how to align all that data to understand the story. And then what are you going to do with that?